Me, 8:30 my, it's gonna be 8:30 my time, 9:30 New York time. As you can see, looking at the charts, we look pretty bullish. We have previous week high on both ES and NQ. We have a daily high. We swept out. We actually gapped lower and swept out previous day low on this weekly candle. So gapped lower, swept out the long weekly candle. So I'm still bullish. We still have previous day high as well. Looks like we got an S&T, but I think we're still pretty bullish. Looks like we came down, tapped this 4 hour. Let's look at the 15 minute. After tapping the 4 hour, we got our change in the state of delivery, respected this 15 minute, and we've been respecting bullish PD arrays. It looks like we're just kind of consolidating in this NWOG. Do we have any news today? No, we don't have any Ripple news until Wednesday, CPI, Thursday, PPI, and unemployment claims. So I'm just gonna be pretty patient today. My rules, don't trade, don't take trades after highs and lows are swept. Just either wait for a discount or I don't need to see some pretty big displacement. Don't force trades. They need to be painfully obvious. Don't take trades just because you didn't see my setup. Sometimes if I don't see my setup in the direction of my bias and my setup shows up in the opposite direction, I might take it and it doesn't have the context that it needs to be a good trade. It's just like the pattern of the setup and I'll take it and then I'll lose. Um, Respect time and be patient. And as far as what I'm looking for, all of my trades start off on higher time frame PD arrays. So 15 minute and above. Sometimes I'll take it off the 5. There's enough displacement, and we have a reaction off of a higher time frame PD array. And then on the lower time frame, I'm looking for uh high time frame if there's also a CRT that's even extra confluence, but on lower time frame, I'm also looking for um like manipulation CISD or a block, maybe a breaker block, wherever you get enter. So, but mainly I need the context for the high time frame. Like I want it to be within order flow. Sometimes I'll take counter trends, but they have to just be like I said, painfully obvious. So that's what I'm looking for. It's about to be 8:30. Another rule is wait about 10 minutes after market open to take a trade. So thing I wouldn't be surprised to see is for us to come down, sweep Asia, and then continue higher. That's something that I wouldn't mind seeing. And then if we did come, respect this 1 hour, 4 hour fair value gap. We do have an S&T at these lows. We also have an S&T at these highs over here, at previous day highs. We did receive a move lower from that SMT. So we also have this order block. Yes, this is a 1 hour, 4 hour, and 15 minute fair value gap. And 29 is coming up here in 16 seconds. We'll see what it does. So far, it hasn't done anything crazy, so this is probably just gonna be a day where we might not take trade. That's cool. So the only trade I would have taken so far, as we're about to enter the time I don't trade anymore, which is 11, it's 9:39. Would have been off this 15-minute fair value gap. I didn't realize, but we did have an SMT here after sweeping out these lows. I really wanted to see Asia low get swept, so I didn't take this trade. But this would have just been a regular. This is just a typical flow state. 15-minute fair value gap. A line lower time frame is the 1 minute. We got the 1 minute change in the state of delivery. Taking it to highs. I didn't take this trade though. This would have been nice. I want to see if we did tap. Let's see. 21,776.75 would have been perfectly tapped in, but I didn't take this trade. At the time, I thought that we had just gotten the sweep, but honestly, this still would have been a decent trade. I just didn't take it, so that's unfortunate, actually. That sucks, but my time is leaving, so I might come back in PM session and see what's going on. But I might come back in PM session and see what's going on. But I gotta get to work, so I answered this long. I would like for us to inverse this 5 minute. Answer this long at this 15 minute fair value gap. Why? I mean, we have some pretty big displacement. The one thing I do notice about the downside is we do have a devil's wick on this 15-minute candle. Get that out of here because we do have the devil's wick on this 15-minute candle. Um, 5 contracts. We we what do we do? We inverse this fair value gap, which is mainly why I took it. Didn't quite inverse it. We're kind of respecting it. I'm gonna just go break even. I think typically I wouldn't go break even on a flow state trade like this, but because we did take out previous day high and we also have S&T, I'm more inclined to, because my initial trade should have been down here. But this is still my model, so we're comparing this trade to this trade down here to this trade, clear draw, 15-minute fair value gap tap, 1 minute CISD, and we still have a draw above. We have the previous week high, previous week low, but it's Monday. So do I think we're going to take out both draws today? Not really. We're still kind of just hanging out at this 5 minute fair value gap. What we do have in our favor is the displacement up, but again, we took out previous day high and we also put in an S&T and we didn't displace above it. I mean, realize I didn't have enough. I only have 4. That's crazy. Yeah, I probably just won't trade anymore for the rest of the day. Um, I'm currently in a put, 530 puts, 0 day on QQQ. I'm up 20% right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. Don't mind my screen being broken, bro. I took this because um of this Devil's Wick on the 15 minute. We also respected this 5 minute pretty nicely. Um I might get out of it just because it is counter trend, but it does look really nice. Like previous day high swept SMT, no displacement of the previous day high. 5 minute change in the state of delivery, tapped into this 5 minute, dropped. I at least want to take it to 21,787. Now I'm up 28%. This was my real money. This isn't prop money. Up 30. I might just call it nice right here. Being up 30% on the day. My position, I took 1 contract. That's decent. That's really decent actually. We would need to drop right here. I'm probably going to do a stop limit order. And right now we're at 0.82. So I'll do probably 0.75, 0.75. So I still at least come out with some money on just to move my stops up. So I moved my stops to 0.75. Right now we're at 0.83 for the price. My average cost was 0.63. Current price is 0.85. And I moved my stops to 0.75. So I am definitely going to take profits if we hit that 15-minute devil's wick before we hit my stop. Current price is 0.81. Might get stopped here. So the stop didn't even work. I don't know how to work this shit. I'm about to get out though. All right, just got the order filled. So we entered at 0.63 and we got out at 0.75. We bought at $63 and sold for 76, so we made about $13 off that position. I'll let you guys know if it does end up hitting that devil's wick down here. I, I mean, I didn't enter another one. It's got to be really bad or really, really wrong. Why we tapped into this 5 minute, we're respecting it. We have yet to inverse this 1 minute fair value gap. Um, I like it. I think I'll probably go break even at these lows if we hit the lows again. Um, Short position. Like we still have this devil's wick down here. I would love to see that devil's wick get hit. I was gonna create limit order. I was gonna go to the only thing that I am tripping about is the time on this bad boy. It's 11:42. Oof, that's what I like to see though. I didn't like that we didn't inverse this 1 minute because we are in kind of like we're in a pretty bullish market. If I didn't get that inverse, I don't want it. Just kind of ping pong it today because I should have just took that one trade I saw earlier this morning. I should have just took it, but I was being a pussy, and now I want to ping pong. Made money. We made real money. $13 on options today, so it is what it is, gang. I now am gonna get off the charts because I'm over here ping pong shit. I mean, technically they're not terrible trades. Like there is a devil's wick down there, um, but I think I didn't respect time. Now I said my rules. I said respect time. Didn't respect time. What was my first rule? What was my second rule? Don't force trades. No, no, no. Hold on. What was my third rule? My third rule was don't take trades just because you didn't see your setup. I missed my setup, so I didn't take a trade. Like, hello? I saw my setup, didn't take the setup trade. I should just took the setup trade, bro. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. All right, y'all. It's now pretty much the end of the day. At this time, we swept previous day high. We had an S&T. I kind of figured that ES was gonna want to take out that previous day high at some point. I just didn't really know when. We never got the tap or the sweep of the bottom wick, the devil's wick, the candle that had no wick, which is cool. Like looking at the higher time frame, price is pretty bullish. Looking at the daily, like we're pushing higher, like we're drawing higher for sure. So that is very interesting. What I would say, doubling back on the fact that I should have taken the initial trade, I lacking confidence. I just came off a pretty bad losing streak. Um, but we did respect this 1 hour CISD right here after coming down, sweeping London lows and having an S&T. Sweeping London lows on ES and having an S&T. What I would say I didn't notice was the fact that YM actually had swept Asia low. So we did have an S&T at Asia low, which would have been nice. I could have used that, but we did have an S&T at London. I didn't consider, I feel like having an idea of what price can do before it does it, like, okay, if this happens, then what? Like it only swept London. And I wanted it to sweep Asia too, but it didn't. But we still very clearly got that manipulation into the 15-minute fair value gap with an SMT. Like that's A plus. Like that's an A plus setup with me. In my book, sweeping previous session liquidity into a higher time frame fair value gap, 15 and up, with an SMT. Manipulation. Higher time frame PDA rate tap. Displacement above the 1 minute CISD. That's chef's kiss. Um, so that was one thing that I would say should have happened this morning. Like, don't second guess yourself, fam. Now, let's stop sharing. As far as everything else, one, we were very clear on what we wanted us to do to respect. Our rules. Don't trade immediately after a sweep of high. Like, don't long after a high was just taken, and don't short after a low was just taken. Wait for some kind of retracement, or at least wait for it to displace below the low. You know what I mean? Don't force trades. They need to be painfully obvious. Um, I don't think our second short, okay, our first short, stupid. That literally broke our first trade, which was don't sweep immediately after we just took a high. It wasn't immediately after, but we definitely didn't get any kind of displacement above a high, which could have told me, okay, we're probably a little bit more bearish at this point. And then we went down into discount of the range, and that would have been a decent area to look for another long in the discount. But when we did get to discount, what I ended up doing was literally trying to take a short to the Devil's Wick, which to be honest, I don't think that that's terrible, but it was a counter trend trade. So I took three trades in total. No, I took two trades in total. One was, first of all, out of my time that I trade. Actually, shit, both of them were in between the 11 to 12 hour, which isn't necessarily an hour I can't trade. It's just an hour I don't like to trade. So I didn't respect time. Um, I tried to long really close to a high that we didn't displace above or go into discount. Um, and I feel like I probably took those last two trades because I did miss that first opportunity. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure we were in an hourly fair value gap. This also could have been a decent trade. It just wouldn't have played out. We're bullish. So obviously I have to figure out how to respect my rules and, kind of take a reflection on what went wrong, what went well today. I think bias was pretty spot on today. I'm happy that we made a small amount of little of real money on options account. That's uh that's pretty cool. Um, and yeah, come back tomorrow with a fresh mind and just let this go in through one ear out the other. We didn't lose any money. We went break even on the trade, so that was good risk management on trades that were a little bit more emotional, but weren't completely like they still had reasoning. Um, so yeah, we'll just come back stronger tomorrow.